I feel like today I might end up stepping on some toes. I know if I was speaking to myself 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, probably even 10 years ago, I would definitely be stepping on my own toes with this one. But we gotta stop taking things personally. This is something that's a real problem with most people these days. I see it all the time. People get offended, people want to take things personally, and inevitably, anytime somebody does something that slights you, they're probably not even thinking about you. They're probably thinking of themselves just like you're thinking of yourself too much. It's the the situation that we're in these days is that everybody wants to get offended about everything, and it's a real problem. Because when you put yourself at the center of the world like that and everything is coming in and it's an offense to you, you're losing perspective of your place in the world. Like, you're not any better than me. I'm not any better than you. We're all in this together. And that is important to remember. So when that jerk cuts you off in traffic, it's not a personal offense to you. They're not even thinking about you. They're just thinking about themselves. Now, is that annoying? Sure it is. It definitely is. It can be rude. It can be self-centered. But the second you make it about you, you're being self-centered as well. So I speak to this from personal experience because I used to look at the world this way. I used to look at the way that things were, and I was so fixated on what's right and what's wrong and do the right thing and stop doing the wrong thing. And there's just so many people that don't operate that way, and trying to expect other people to live up to my standard, they could view right and wrong completely differently than I do, and if they're being rude and self-centered, so be it. Now, if they're hurting people, that's a problem. But if they're being rude and self-centered, can it annoy me? Sure. But do I need to take personal offense to it? Is it a personal slight to me? Probably not, Erin and I, my wife, we deal with this all the time over on our other channel. People leave rude comments, negative comments. And if you just take 2 seconds to think about the mindset of someone that is going to spend time watching a video and then spend more time leaving a negative comment, what that speaks to with where they're at in their life, their general attitude, their general level of happiness, it's not a personal slight to us. It speaks volumes to where they're at. And when that happens, I hope those sort of people find some joy in life to where they don't think about taking the time to hate watch something and then leave a rude or disrespectful comment. Like that is such a crazy thing to do. Like, I cannot, if I start watching a video and there's something I don't like in it, I don't like the people that are in the video, I'm not resonating with the message in the video, I don't like the production of the video or the sound's off or something like that, you know what I do? I just leave and go watch a different video. I would never in a million years think about taking my time to leave a negative comment because I don't have the time to do that. But I bring this up because I feel like, there's even people that are in my life that take things really personally sometimes. And I have to remind them, it's not about you. This is about other people. I deal with this with my daughter all the time. She's a 7th grade middle schooler. There are so many times where other kids are behaving in such a way that she feels like it's directed at her. And I have to remind her, it's not about you. It's about them. You have to remove yourself from that situation and realize that they're dealing with something over on their end. They're feeling some feelings, and you have to learn not to take this stuff personally. And that's really hard for her to accept because she's a 7-year-old or a 7th grade girl, a 12 going on 13-year-old daughter here. And things feel like the emotions feel really big for her. But here's the thing, guys. We do the exact same thing as adults. We just don't realize it. It's a little bit more socially polished. It looks a little different. Maybe we do it in private, but it doesn't mean we're not feeling those things. You've got to learn to let that, I call it like a self-centric view, because when you're taking that self-centric view, you're putting yourself in the middle of your own world, and everything that comes into orbit with you is either for you or against you. And that's I think that's a really unhealthy way of looking at life, because again, we're all in this together. We're all just trying to do our best. And sometimes people, they're in a mood, they say something, they do something. And look, I'm not saying that you have a full excuse to behave however you want, regardless of how it affects other people. And if they've got a problem with it and they want to brush up against you about it, that's their problem and they need to deal with it. Not what I'm saying. That would be ridiculous. But we're all in it together. And if somebody does something that rubs you the wrong way, it's far better to spend just a little bit of time. If you're in close relationship with this person, spend a little bit of time and try to understand why they did what they did, because it's not about you. It's going to end up being about something else 9 times out of 10. And if it is about you, you need to be willing to cop to the fact that you did something or you behaved in such a way with someone that you cared about that upset them and made them feel some kind of way. And then you need to own that. And ownership of our stuff when we mess up like that is huge. That's a huge part of being a man, is being able to own your stuff, whether it's the good stuff or the bad stuff. You've got to be willing to step up and take ownership of your actions and the results of those actions, no matter what. So that's what's on my mind this week. It's been on my mind for several weeks, but some things happened, and a lot of this stuff is examples and things from this come out of my daughter's life and being a parent to her, and then translating those ideas into things that are applicable for not just men, but for everybody, adults these days, that might be watching this. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully it finds you where you are and it meets you, and you can take something from it. You can glean something from it, or at the very least, it sparks some type of thought in your head. So before we get out of here, drinking a little Old Forester 100 Signature. This stuff right here is a great value bottle, $25. We just had it in a blind tasting over on our other channel, me and Aaron, and really good bottle for $25. So good Kentucky bourbon. Cheers. Cheers to being a good part of society rather than putting yourself at the center of your own universe, because that is not the way to go, guys. I can promise you. Like, you're not the end all be all. Like, we all make mistakes. We're all human beings. We're all doing our best. So give other people grace, give other people understanding, and realize if they do something that's comes across sideways to you, let it roll off your back. I promise you, you're going to go through each day with less anger. You're going to go through each day with less resentment, and your relationships are going to improve because of it. Your mind state is going to improve because of it. Your mood is going to improve because of it. And then the people that are in close relationship with you, their lives are going to get better too, because you're going to stop taking offense at things. I'm a living testament to this. Literally, I'm speaking not only to situations I've saw in my daughter's life in recent weeks, but I'm essentially just speaking to my 20-something-year-old self. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you're having a great holiday season. Life isn't too hectic or anything like that. And if it is, this too shall pass. So stay the course. Cheers, y'all. See you next week.